Hello, everyone. Welcome to an Obble Gobble Gaming Battle Report. As a new channel, I appreciate your feedback. Please leave a comment with suggestions on what to improve, as well as ideas for future content that you would like to see. For now, please enjoy this Black Powder Red Earth Battle Report, and consider subscribing to make sure you catch any future battle reports. Alright guys, we're playing a test game of Black Powder Red Earth's 28mm tabletop game. I have a couple of rounds under my belt as a test, so please understand if we don't get everything quite right. But the setup for today is Carcass Wrath. You can go ahead and pause it real quick if you want to read. That might be too difficult to read. Regardless, the situation is that there's a very important disjunction here. We have a total of 6 Scorch members who have selected this building as their strong point, and a total 17 mix of Shorta, Mutasib, Hongbin Mercs, and Hongbin leaders that are parked just outside of the wall over there. I'll bring the camera over. Their goal is to get inside of the compound, walk up one of the mutasibs inside of the building that the defenders are holding, and detonate the S-Vest. Alternatively, if they destroy 125 points of the defenders, that will also count as a victory. Any other result is a victory for the Scorch team. We'll get back to you after the next round of movement. Alright, no one was in line of sight for the direct fire phase of the game. So we're going straight to movement. Aggressor gets priority. And we have one of the Ayari guard sprinting up to the corner of the building. Now that will put him in line of sight of some of the defenders. Will there be a reaction shot? Immediate actions happen before you finish your shooting. No? Okay, the Scorch defender has elected to fire an immediate action overwatch shot with this member here on the Shurta that pushed up against the wall there. Go ahead and roll 2d10.
That'll hit.
9.
9 will hit, and Shurtas do not get saves, so he is done.
Good.
Alright, we are... The attacker is pushing up another Shurta to the same position on the wall, and I don't think the Scorch defender has any more line of sight. So that will go unopposed. Now you get to shoot. 2d10 looking for
14 or higher. Nope.
obstructed.
15 or higher. Nope. 4.
4 total. Now we go to one of the defenders.
Okay. We're going to have our automatic rifleman move over to peek through this hole here.
Now this... Oh, negative. Let me pause this. Alright, we have the machine gun Scorch member move to there, provoking an overwatch shot from a Hongbin enabler just directly underneath the tent right here. I'll go ahead and show you that angle. We have a shot all the way back to there from the enabler standing right in front of us. What is he going to attack with?
Using the drone.
Uh-oh, drone coming into play.
The kinetic ISR ability with a Feng Wang 918 UAS Flechette drone.
Alright.
No.
Alright, Hongbin enabler triggering with the Feng Huan 918. Let's see the 2d10.
8 or up hits. It's a 10 and a 3.
13 will hit. So your machine gunner will be saving on 2d10, looking for...
Value lower than listed.
Looking for a 14 basically.
13 up. Because it's one better.
Ah, yes.
13 and up. Good.
Yep,
roll.
That's a 15. 15, it's hard to capture that, but safe. These drones are described as lancing through you, literally cutting you to ribbons. No explosive whatsoever. So I guess that deflected off a special threat plate or something like that. All right, to recap, we had Shurta guards move up to here. There's another one that moved inside of this bazaar. Shots were fired at the defenders up on this wall, but nothing happened. No hits were made. In response, we had one of the Scorch operators on the bottom story here push out during his move, and he will now be taking a shot at the one underneath the bazaar, and then we'll be pushing back into cover. So 2d10, is that an obstructed shot?
Yes.
You're looking for a 9?
Yep, 9.
Good roll.
That'll do.
All right. And is that a Shurta?
Yes.
Then he is out of play. No save. And you're moving him back into the doorway, correct?
Correct. We'll move back. There.
All right. Not sure Shurta guard is out.
I couldn't.
All right. This Hong Bin enabler stepped out to here, fired one of the Feng Huan drones on the defenders up on the wall, successfully hit, but then the machine gunner rolled a 16 on the save and was unaffected by the limb slicing drone. Then the enabler finished by stepping back into cover, and we'll see how Scorch responds. All right, in response, Scorch has taken one of their assaulters and has moved him out from the garage to post up on that corner. They don't have line of sight currently.
They do, actually.
No, you don't.
Pause. We had one of the Shurta guards move from this position behind the arches to just right there. They don't have line of sight to anyone and can't be seen, but we know that there are targets behind the corrugated steel building in the back. We'll get back with the actions and responses of the Scorch team. All right, we had the Scorch team member parked right here in the building, move 6, to follow his team member out towards the corrugated steel building. And now back to the Ayabari guard.
This Shurta guard is going to move through the archways and post up next to his buddy. That completes his move. He has no targets to engage.
All right. We had the last remaining operator of the Scorch team, the Recce team member, move across the building to this position on the rooftop where he's going to try and clean up the right alleyway. Does that provoke any immediate fire? Do you have anyone that can?
No.
I believe he's fired. He doesn't get to shoot again.
Correct. Okay. So 2d10s looking for 9s on obstructed. On obstructed shots. That is
9.
Precisely a 9. Shurta can't defend against that.
Obstructed, right?
Correct. Yep.
Cool.
That will be a kill. And he is finished. So now we'll get back to you with the rest of the Ayabari guard movements.
7 or 8 of the dudes moving their Congo line. The Hongbin Merc is here, providing line of sight. Everyone colored is a Shurta. This gentleman is one of the Mutasib, thank you. The other Mutasib move this way, here and here. And then there's also another Shurta here.
So they've gotten over the first hurdle, which is kind of like breaking into the perimeter. And now it's going to come down to some real dirty CQB. Okay, so we'd go to the finish phase next. We'll do a quick pause while the players plan. Okay, after checking both sides for line of sight, there isn't any at the start of the finish phase of the first round, meaning there was no exchange of fire done during the last phase. Again, because there is no line of sight, it means that during turn 2's direct fire phase, there are no targets for either side. We will be moving directly into the maneuver phase, starting with the Ayabari guard. Let's see where we go from here. All right, first maneuver of the Ayabari guard. We're having a Shorta guard push-up 6. He will not have line of sight on anything there.
Get something to put
But
under.
oh yes, go ahead and remove all of your activated tokens, that resets. Okay, so the Scorch team lead is going to be moving out of the building and scaling over the side of the pickup bed truck. Let's 2d10 to see if that's where he finishes or if he can keep moving.
That'll do it. 18.
Yep. 18. So now he can finish off his movement, which I guess gives him a little bit more flexibility on where he stays in the bed of the truck.
So he's actually going to shoot.
Does my reaction trigger?
If he enters line of sight of
Yes.
your guys, then this will trigger reaction fire. And any number of guys who have line of sight can do their reaction fire, but they cannot move then. They will be done.
He's exposed from his hip stuff that's obstructed, right?
Obstructed.
Okay. 13 to hit.
Okay, we can roll over here. 13 to hit.
By the Hongding Merc.
That is an 11. So, no hit there. Does anyone else have line of sight?
No.
2 separate attack rolls, the RPK.
This is true. This is true. The Hongbin Merc's thing is that he has 2 separate attacks.
Okay. That is another 11.
No,
That's a 9?
That's a 14. Isn't it?
Is it a 9 or a
It's a
6?
6. The 0 is on the right side of the number.
Oh, you're right. That's another an 11. So 2 bursts of RPK fire that slam into the white pickup truck, but don't take out the team lead. Does anyone else have line of sight over there?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Who?
This guy. This guy can't shoot because he is obstructing him, and I don't want to risk
Let's
him
check
killing
line
him.
of sight real quick. After checking line of sight, there is a single further Shurta guard that has line of sight
14
on the
to hit.
team leader. You can see him just inside the columns back there. Looking for a 14 to hit. That is a 11 again.
Good God.
3 11s in a row. Tough going for the Ibari guard. Now the Scorch team lead will finish his action. The team lead has belayed last. The drone will not be coming in on the targets over here. He's going to be firing over the hood of the vehicle. Who is the target?
It's going to be the leader in the very back.
The Hongbin Merc in the back. Okay, unobstructed shot. Looking for 6s, I believe.
Yep. No, 5, sorry.
5 for the leader. Well, 5 is a miss, so 6 up hits. 5 or less is a miss.
7.
7. 7 is a hit. What kind of save does the Hongbin Merc have?
17 up, he's okay.
All right, let's see it. 17.
What is the stagger rule?
Stagger means that he can't activate for the rest of the round. But since he already had activated, you aren't losing out on much. Go ahead and mark your guys as activated.
He's going to move back.
Oh, okay. All right, so he jumped onto the truck, moving back. Go ahead and roll again to see when he jumps off, whether he stays right on the side of the truck.
Yeah, come back. No. 17.
17. So sure enough, he hops on, takes his shots, jumps off, gets back in cover. All right, back to the Ayabari guard. Okay, we have the Mutasib inside of the arches, moving to the tip of the tape measure there, which should place him out of line of sight behind the hood of the vehicle. Okay, back to the Scorch Defender. Okay, Scorch Team Defender has elected to move an Azolter from this part of the corrugated steel building to here, giving him an angle on the suicide vest that's hiding behind the hood of the truck. He's now going to try and take a shot, obstructed. looking for 7s, I believe.
Correct.
That's a
No.
5. Does not hit. Sends the S vest ducking for cover. And now you will finish out by moving back into cover.
Correct.
All right, back to the Ibari guard. Okay, we had another Mutasib move from. Oh, the Shirta. We had a Shirta move from this gazebo. What are they? The tents, the market stalls, up to the wall. The Scorched Defender machine gunner on the rooftop has elected to pass, which means that he is locked into Overwatch down the right alley. No further movements from him. Back to the Ayabari guard.
Tape measure.
One Shirta guard moved from there too. Any lines of sight or
Negative.
shots? Okay. Then Scorched Defender.
We move the assaulter here into line of sight of the suicide vest.
Okay.
And he's going to shoot.
I would call that unobscure. Well, what's the call there?
I can see above his knees.
Which guy?
Let's call it obscured. The game is so lethal. Let's call him obscured. No.
No.
This guy has a shot on the guy behind the SUV. All right, let's call it obstructed. You need a 9, is it?
Yes. A 10.
10 will make it. So that's a hit on the Mutasahib, or whatever they're called. What does he save on?
17 up.
Ooh, steep. That is a 16. Close but no cigar. That is one of the 3 suicide vests taken out that are trying to destroy the drone.
Wait a minute, did I get a reactionary shot on the new
He
round?
doesn't. He moved from
I moved this round, right? This Shirta is moving full 6 inches to here.
Okay. Will that put him in line of sight?
No.
All right. Then we go to Scorch. Next activation. Okay. Scorch responded by moving one of their assault members from the doorway to the corner. They're going to be taking a shot at that Hong Bin leader in the back there. It's hard to see against the white wall. However, he will be taking an immediate reaction shot first. This is 2d10 at a -3 for reaction shots.
But is it a reaction shot? Does the -3 count towards the Fang? The missile?
You can't use the missile.
Oh, you can't use a missile. That has to be during your move phase.
So
Well, do you... The reaction fire roll comes up. A 4 -3 is 1. That will not hit. You will be taking a obstructed shot needing a 9.
10.
On a 10, that is armor looking for what?
16 up saves.
16 up saves.
Nope.
That's an 8, and the other Hong Bin leader is down.
Okay, and then he will finish his activation by moving back 2 inches.
All right. We had one Shirta guard move from there up behind the rest of his little posse there. How will Scorch respond to that? Okay, for their final team member, Scorch has decided to pass on their recce team member, which means that both him and the machine gunner have Overwatch shots down this corridor. We will get back to you when we resolve the rest of the Ayabari movement. Roll.
The 2 Mutasib moved up here on this Shirta. 2 Shirtas moved from below the archway to here. Another behind the stack of tires. And that concludes all movement.
Okay. Let's see what lines of sight we have and establish if there's going to be any finishing phase or direct action phase for the next round.
Token here.
Okay, so we had a Shirta push in from there into the corrugated steel building. He is now face to face across the wall with one of the Ember team members. Will you be reaction firing? All right, 2d10 at a -3, looking to get an obstructed shot. So really you're looking for a 12 or above.
Never mind.
You won't shoot? After much deliberation, the Scorch team member is firing back, looking for a 13 or above. That is a 10. That won't cut it. 10, Shurta is safe. He catches the Ember team off guard as he jumps in the corrugated building and will now be shooting obstructed.
No, 11.
11 won't do it. Both of those models are activated. Go ahead and mark them. That does mark the end of Ayabari Guard's turn. So Scorch, you are up. So we had one of the assault members of the Scorch team on the rooftop switch over from next to the machine gunner, watching the right alleyway, to overwatching this approach on the left. He got line of sight on one of the Shurta members, but has exposed himself to return fire from not only that Shurta member, but the Hong Bin Merc with the RPK in the back. We'll be resolving those in which order?
Lower member first, as he's the target of the attack.
Shurta obstructed, needing 18 because it's
No. Oh yeah, reactionary.
reactionary.
Well,
That is
a
a
19.
It's a 10.
Is that
It's
a 10?
1.
Wait, let's look for zeros.
The 0.
The zeros are 10. It's a 1.
So the Shurta member is ineffective, but now the Hong Bin Merc is looking for what's his obstructed? 11?
13.
So -3, looking for 16.
Yeah, that was it.
But he gets to do this twice. That's a 13. And that's an 8.
Gracious.
No effect on that fire. Now,
Well, I can
the
shoot back at the leader, that means, right? If he can shoot at me.
Scorch team member.
Your target before.
Okay, Scorch assault member is returning fire on the Hong Bin RPK,
Moving a 9
looking for 9.
That'll do.
That's a 17. Looking to defend on a 17.
up. 16 is stagger.
That 16 is stagger. Oh, then he saves. All right, let's see how the.
And then
Oh, he'll return.
And
Go
he's
ahead and
going
move
to
him.
move back 2 inches. Stay here.
Okay, the Hong Bin Merc in the back went down to reactionary fire, and then the Shurta here moved up from the tires, right there, to the back of the SUV. There were no reactionary shots, as none of the Scorch members have line of sight on a model crossing back there. Ayabari turn complete, or rather activation complete, and what will Scorch do? On Scorch activation, the machine gunner up here, front and center, decided to pass and go into Overwatch on the right alley again. Back to the Ayabari guard. The Shurta member at the edge of the tape measure there has pushed up to behind the corrugated steel on this side. No shots. Back to the Scorch team. Ember has elected to have their team leader pass, going into Overwatch on that corner. Now, this one here has already fired, so he's done. He can't move, but can still reaction fire. This one is done. Machine gun can reaction fire, and you have 2 team members left.
Correct.
All right, Ayabari guard.
One of my Mutasi will split, hitting a full 6 inches behind this wheel well of this car. And that will end the round on his turn.
All right, Scorch, back to you. After much deliberation, Scorch has had this assaulter also hold, meaning that they have an Overwatch shot down the right alleyway. Back to the Ayabari.
Moving this Shurta all the way to get up with his buddies here. That's the end of his action.
All right. Back to Scorch team, last team member. Or do you have any left?
Yeah, I do have the VC guy.
Okay, moving on to the next round. There are no more targets in line of sight of each other, so even though the Ayabari guard would start the direct shooting phase, they have no targets. However, the Scorch team will be tossing a frag. So talk us through it.
So this assaulter here is going to be tossing a
The one on the
grenade.
roof?
Yep. On that point right there.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and put a frag chit right there. This will be going off at the beginning of the finish phase. All right, any other direct action?
Nope. That'll be it. And that's a token on him.
Moving on to movement for the Ayabari guard. We'll get back when we've established the actions for the first insurgent.
To see from the rear trunk of the car, moved full 6 inches to here.
All right, Scorch team, what is your response? Scorch has elected to pass with this assaulter, foregoing any movement, but retaining their immediate reaction shot. Back to Ayabari guard.
One Shurta has moved from here to here. That is the move for his turn.
Any shot at the end?
Oh, I didn't check that. He can't Yeah, this guy can't react, but I can shoot, right?
Correct,
I
correct,
don't know
because
if
he
it's
already
six.
activated.
He can't even see him over the
Cool,
roof.
never mind.
All right, Scorch team, back to you.
Okay, we're gonna have this man's.
Reki?
Yeah, I'm gonna have Reki move there.
Okay. All right, so we had the Scorch Reki team member pull up to this edge here, and will now be engaging where?
This guy here. That just moved.
All right, let's see the die rolls. Unobstructed, I think. 2 for 7s. That's a 10. And will be a Shurta gone.
Sure toggle.
Back to the Bari guard.
Shurta moves from here to here. End of round.
Back to the Scorch. Scorch team lead has elected to hold what he's got in the garage, passing his turn, and also...
No, just kidding. I'm sorry. I took that back.
No take backsies.
I forgot the drone is not target, it's point.
Yes.
So he's going to put a drone right there.
All right. Drone goes. It goes off automatically, and those guys don't have saves, so that's both of them gone. 2 more Shurta. Wow, Shurta.
Shurta moved from here to here, full 6 inches. It's over.
And
These guys are staying put. They're not doing anything. End of round.
quite the kill tally back there. Yeah, back to Scorch then. Pause. Okay, the Scorch member on this side of the building, whoops, has decided to push up to the corner, pieing a little bit more aggressively against some of the Ibari forces that are hiding behind that corner over there. Back to the Ibari guard. Holding position.
Moves hold.
Okay, so with them holding, what is the Scorch team lead going to have his team do? Who is left to activate?
No, that's it.
That was it. So, beginning of the finishing phase, that frag grenade will go off, not affecting anyone there. Is there anyone within 3 inches and in line of sight?
Nope.
Or more for the wreck? He's the only guy who can engage
Negative.
at any range. Okay, so then it resets. All of the chits come off, and Ibari will open up the next round. Okay, after looking at the circumstances and the mission win criteria, we're at the bottom of the 5th round. Looking at the distances that the S vests on the what are called the Mutasib need to travel, we realize that the one behind this apartment building is just out of play. It's more than 2 turns away, even at a dead sprint, and there's some serious overwatch on that right alley. The only possible win for the Ayabari Guard forces is for this Mutasib right there, who is precisely 2 movements away from the entrance of the defended building, to make it there without taking any damage. Now that is unlikely given that there are 1, 2, 3, and 4 members overwatching in that direction. However, should 3 or more of them fail on their reaction fire rolls, which is possible with that -3, then there is a chance that the S-Vest runs in. So we're just going to do it kind of quickly. Who's going to be the first one to move?
This guy in the alleyway.
All right, alleyway is moving. Okay. Any reactionary fire on the right side?
We'll react with this assaulter.
All right, assaulter on the right side of the building. This is -3 for reactionary and obstructed. So you're looking at a 12.
Is it obstructing? Okay. I mean,
It's a 12.
gotcha. It's 14.
14 will hit, and that Shorta is out. That's technically the end of Ayabari activation. Scorch, what are you going to do?
We're going to have this assaulter here pass and overwatch the corner.
Okay, overwatching the corner. Back to the Ayabari guard.
This gentleman will do the same. End up here.
Okay, are you going to reactionary fire with anyone on the right?
No.
Okay, then you get to shoot from over
I'd
there.
like to shoot. They're both obstructed. I'd like to shoot at the machine gun.
So obstructed shot from the Shorta is looking like a 15. That will do it. That is in fact a 17. So you are looking for automatic rifleman. A 14 or less is dead. That's a 7. The machine gun for the Scorch team is down. First blood on the side of the Scorch. Let's see how this affects the outcome. Who? That finishes the Ibari turn. Scorch, how are you going to respond?
We're going to put our fearless leader on overwatch, passing there.
Okay, so we have the Scorch team lead passing and overwatching anything down that corridor. Ibari, how do you respond?
We'll have this guy punch out. Oh no, there's 0 shots he can earn over there except for this guy, so we'll just do it for Valor.
And that might be worth checking if it's obstructed or not, since this guy has triggered. I frankly don't see cover. It's just a clear alleyway. So that puts it on an 11, I think.
Mutaseed hits directly with a 12.
Ooh.
6
That's a
does not
6.
cut it. Moving on to you.
Scorch response.
Gonna have Reki overwatch.
So just holding. Okay. Back to the Ibari.
moving this guy up to the edge.
Okay. Who is he exposing himself to?
No one.
All right.
I can see his head.
He's
backing up a
leaning
little
forward very according to his base, which I cannot hug the wall close enough. But
That's fine. We understand he's hugging the wall, not peeking the corner, but in close contact. Scorch, I think you have everyone left on Overwatch.
He's,
Oh.
So-
An assaulter on the rooftop?
now he's on Overwatch.
As I said, everyone left on Overwatch. All right, Mutasib pushing down the alleyway. Potentially, you also have this guy back here.
No, no.
Okay.
do anything.
Scorch is committed. No, you don't see his head. Okay, I think that's all activations for everyone, right?
Yep.
And there's no line of sight within 3 inches. They are close, but there's no line of sight within 3. We will pause and figure out what we're doing for activations next turn. Okay, so the Ayabari Forces direct action phase. There are a few models still in line of sight of each other. What is the decision here on this right flank?
I can't game a grenade toss onto the roof because I poorly planned where he stopped. So he will just take a direct shot, try to retry what he couldn't do last round. Looking for a
Yeah, you're good.
12 direct. And a 6 again, so
6 on the shot. He's activated then. Go ahead and mark him as done. Now it goes to a Scorch team. I'm assuming you're going to engage with the guy in the right alley.
Yep.
Obstructed shot, looking for 9.
Obstructed.
He has cover from the
Okay.
stall,
He's physically standing outside the stall, but that'll
the base. 12 hits, and you save on 17. That's a 17.
not that it matters, but that's cool.
So he's up. We have activated this one here. He's done. Back to you. Are there any more direct action shots? What about this guy? Does he have... Again, it is a kneeling model, but it's a dynamic thing. We really have to go by the base.
It's too bad he can't suppress. No, he will not do anything.
Okay. Then we go straight to movement for Ibari. Oh, just kidding. Forgive me.
I would like to do a thing.
I'm so used to Ibari not being able to toss. But yes, Scorch team. Where are your grenades going?
Let me see if I take my shot left. I'll go with you. Okay.
After long deliberation, Scorch has decided that frags are not in their best interest. We are moving on to the movement phase, starting with the Ibari. Ayabari. Where are you going?
This guy, who did not move during the direct action phase, is going to push up to this pallet where he can see him. I think he's flanking. Is that a thing in this game?
No, it's just unobstructed shot.
Okay, that's it. That's what's I'm thinking of. War.
Spectre.
No.
Oh, war. Kill wager.
Kill wager. That's
Well, we'll have to try that some other time.
it.
All right, so flanking. Oh, that's a 5.
Yep. No. All right.
Man, these rolls are really against you tonight. Holy
Wait,
smokes.
does he get to react or no? No, he's out of line of sight.
Correct. However, it's now their turn.
Yeah.
And missile.
Yep.
So you're activating the...
I'm using. So he's here. You can see right there. Drops a missile right on.
Game over.
You still get the save on the...
Against the
He didn't
missile?
get a save less.
Shortas don't get saves, but
Oh.
Mutasibs get saves.
Oh.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken, the drone says, Scoria says, Detonate within with a 3-inch radius.
If I don't get a 20, the game
Oh wow,
is over.
it is 3-inch radius.
Yes.
From the target point, kill or roll saves.
Oh, 3-inch
For
radius.
every-
I could have dropped it there and killed a ton
Yeah,
of people.
now it's radius. I could have sworn I read it in the book.
That is super stupid.
That's strong.
If I don't get a 20, the game's over because he's staggered or dead and he can't move.
Isn't it 17?
Nope.
Well, that is ultimately game. Good game. Rough, but we're learning mechanics coming from games like Spectre. It can be difficult. Let's go ahead and pause, and we'll do a little quick discussion on the end about what we think about the game and things we learned. This is new to all three of us.